There's a saying that you shouldn't ask a woman her age or a man his salary, but have you ever thought about why this unwritten rule exists and what it really means? Basically, it reflects the extent to which society still treats topics like age and money as taboos, delicate subjects that are avoided. And what does this mean for all of us? Perhaps you've already felt the pressure of living from month to month on what you earn, with no room for bigger dreams, just surviving. And for many, this is the reality. Today, we're going to talk about something that may seem uncomfortable, but is vital to you. Money. Yes, the famous money, the key to so many doors, but also one of the biggest sources of worry. No matter who you are or what you do, we all face financial challenges at some point in our lives. What if I told you that everything you know about money could be limiting you? In this video, we'll explore 3 limiting beliefs about finances that could be blocking your path to success. There are at least 3 very common misconceptions about money that many of us learn from an early age and which end up limiting us. The first misconception is that money can only be earned through intense physical effort and hard work. How many times have you heard that it takes sweat and sacrifice to make a living? The second is the idea that schooling alone is enough to generate wealth. It sounds logical, but does it really work like that? And the third misconception is that having a good job is enough to solve all your financial problems. But I ask you, do you believe this? Does it make sense to you considering the reality around you? Well, I'm telling you that all of these concepts are in some way incorrect, and throughout this video, we're going to analyze each of these myths one by one in order to debunk them. Why isn't hard work alone the definitive solution to financial problems? Just look at what happens around us. There are many people who dedicate themselves intensely, wake up before the sun rises and go to bed late, giving it their all. And despite all this dedication, many of these people still haven't changed their lives. They continue to earn the bare minimum with an almost insignificant financial return. The reality is that although physical effort is commendable, it alone will not solve your financial difficulties. The road to financial success requires much more than effort. The second common mistake is to believe that a good formal education will solve all your financial problems. It's common to think that once you've completed a prestigious university degree or a well-recognized technical course, doors will magically open and you'll be immune to financial problems. However, the world is full of well-educated people who, despite this, have not achieved the financial stability they dream of. This is because school and college, although important, don't teach financial intelligence. And without this knowledge, many professionals find it difficult to manage their earnings, no matter how good they are. And finally, the third misconception is that a good job is enough to guarantee financial security. Wrong. Having a stable job is no guarantee of a prosperous future. Millions of people around the world have good jobs but earn just enough to survive and pay their bills. For many, this is not synonymous with a quality lifestyle. But what really solves these financial issues? If you want to know the answer, you're in the right place, and let's explore it together. If you're enjoying this content so far, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. I'm preparing a series of videos that will transform your financial life, and you can't miss them. I ask you, is having a lot of money a bad thing? Does money lead to bad habits? Is it really the root of all evil? These are questions we often hear, and they are worth thinking about carefully. Throughout our lives, many of us have been taught to view money as something negative. But now, let's take a closer look at this idea. Do you know what the biggest problem is with our education system? It's that what is taught about financial education in schools and universities is practically non-existent. What really matters in life, money, and how to manage it, is rarely covered in the classroom. Imagine if, in your youth, you had received a solid grounding in finance. Today, your reality would be completely different. But don't worry about what you didn't learn before. There's still time to change that. It's a big flaw that society doesn't teach about money at the age when it's best to learn. Youth, when we absorb knowledge more easily. If you're watching this video, it's because you really want to transform your life and perhaps be the first in your family to achieve a comfortable and secure financial situation. So leave your comment. I will be rich. It's a declaration of commitment to your future. When I see your message, I'll give it a heart, because I recognize that success is on the way for those who really want to grow. It doesn't matter where you are today. What matters is your determination to learn and evolve. Let's demystify money together, understand its importance, and learn how to use it to ensure a prosperous future. I'm going to tell you a personal example that left a deep impression on me. When I was a child, when I saw someone in a luxury car or having dinner in a fancy restaurant, what would go through my head? I thought, that person must be involved in something wrong. You can't make that kind of money just by doing honest work. Perhaps you've already thought something similar. This mentality is common, and unfortunately, many people still hold this view. The love of money is believed to be the root of all evil, but in reality, it's the lack of money that causes difficulties. Liking money is not a mistake. What makes money a problem is misuse and lack of control over it. Money is like a magnifying glass, magnifying what people already are. If you have integrity without money, with money that integrity only grows stronger. If you already like to help others, money allows you to extend that help. The opposite is also true. If someone is dishonest without money, with wealth, that dishonesty only increases. Remember, money belongs in your pocket and bank account, never in your heart. It should be at your service, not the other way around. Never become a slave to money. It is something we must control, not let it dominate us. I've heard many people say, all this stuff about money makes sense, but making money is very difficult. And my answer is simple. Is it easier to live without money, with all the limitations and worries that the lack of it brings? For those without resources, life can become a cycle of loss, a kind of slow death. A rich person dies once, but a person without money, in a sense, faces small deaths every day, with constant worries and limitations. The problem isn't the money, it's the sacrifice of working in jobs we hate, facing intense hours from sunup to sundown, and still ending the day with no prospect of a better life. This is what generates wear and tear and dissatisfaction. Debts pile up, and many people sink financially, even generating family conflicts. Money in itself is just a tool. It can be used for both good and bad. What determines its real value are the intentions of those who possess it. The big question is money alone what makes you truly rich? Let's think about it. Some people will say, yes, of course it does, but the answer goes deeper than that. Money doesn't make a person truly rich. I know several people who, after becoming rich, ended up in debt. Some even lost their homes and fell into extreme situations. Many examples show people who won the lottery and lost everything in a short time. It doesn't matter how much the prize is. Without financial knowledge, the money disappears. The lesson is clear. More important than making money is knowing how it works and learning how to manage it. Without this understanding, any fortune is at risk. Lack of financial understanding is one of the biggest causes of poverty. Think of the example of someone who buys an expensive membership at a golf club, acquires the most advanced equipment, but can't play well. Why? Because they haven't invested in lessons to learn the basics of the game. In the same way, many people invest in property, shares, cars, or luxury travel, but don't invest a penny in financial education. The result is that, without knowledge, investments become waste. Money, without direction, loses value. There is something fundamental that we need to understand. Many people believe that you need to already have money to make more money, as if only the rich have access to opportunities for financial growth. This is a myth. If you don't know how to generate wealth without having great resources, you won't know how to do it even with a fortune. The key to building wealth is not having money, but having the knowledge to make money grow. Financial education is the starting point for any achievement. Think about it, my friend. Whether it's investing in Bitcoin, real estate, the stock market, or even your day job, none of this in itself brings guaranteed wealth. What really generates wealth is knowledge and understanding about these areas. For example, do you believe that the real estate market alone can make you rich? Many will say yes, after all, real estate is valuable. But the truth is that real estate alone doesn't guarantee anyone wealth. I know people who have lost money investing in real estate because of their lack of knowledge of the market. The same applies to the stock market. Without a thorough understanding of the dynamics and risks, money can quickly be lost. To sum up, the depth with which you get involved in any area is what really generates opportunities for wealth. The greatest chances of success lie in the deeper waters of knowledge. Decision-making is what sets you apart and takes you to new heights. Imagine if you could learn from the most successful people in the world and gather this knowledge in one place. Some books can offer you this path. I'm going to recommend 3 that I consider fundamental. The first is The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. The second is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the third is The Law of Triumph. Although there are many other excellent books, these are a good starting point for expanding your understanding. Share in the comments the name of a book you've read and consider to be a good source of financial knowledge. That way, you'll also help other people who are looking to grow financially. In this video, we're talking about money, and we're going to clear up an important question. Do financial difficulties only affect the less well-off, or do they also affect the rich? Don't fall into the trap of thinking that financial problems are exclusive to the poor. In fact, rich and poor alike face financial challenges, albeit in different ways. Have you ever stopped to think about this? The financial problems of those with fewer resources differ from those faced by the rich. What is the biggest problem for the poorest? Lack of money. In situations of scarcity, many people end up resorting to loans to survive and deal with emergencies, which only increases their difficulties. Any unforeseen event can turn into a crisis, and in search of solutions, some follow the wrong advice, losing what little they have. And there's more. Insecurity about retirement is a constant worry. A serious problem for those who have fewer resources and live without guarantees for the future. What about the rich? Yes, the rich have financial challenges too, and you may be surprised to learn that even with so much money, they still struggle to manage it. It may sound strange, but many rich people don't know exactly how to manage their fortunes. The question may arise, if that's the case, then let them pass the money on to me. But the issue is more complex than that. They face dilemmas such as where to invest their capital in order to get good returns, and are often unsure whether they are really loved or just loved for what they have. When the time comes to divide inheritances, conflicts arise over what each person should receive, and this situation, instead of uniting, can create family divisions. In addition, there is the fear that, because of financial abundance, children will end up becoming complacent and unmotivated, a real concern for many wealthy people. So it's clear that financial difficulties are not exclusive to the poor. The rich have their own challenges and dilemmas. Whether you're rich or poor, we all face financial issues of some kind. Many believe that by earning more money, the problems will disappear, but the truth is that with increased income comes new challenges and responsibilities. If you're looking to accumulate wealth, I want to share 5 essential principles that you should carry with you for life. These principles will help you avoid financial problems and build a solid foundation of prosperity. First, in order to achieve wealth, you have to accept an unavoidable truth. In any career or endeavor, problems will never cease to exist. Whenever you solve one problem, another will arise. However, it is the process of overcoming these problems that really brings growth and eventually wealth. The greater the challenge you face and solve, the greater your reward. Think of the following example. Imagine a simple headache. How much would you pay someone to solve it? Probably almost nothing, as a painkiller is enough. But if the problem were more serious, such as a tumor, the amount paid to the doctor would be much higher because he is dealing with a very complex problem. This principle applies to any field. The greater the challenges you face, the greater the recognition and reward. The second principle is aimed at young people. Start your career as early as possible. Independence from an early age is valuable for your personal growth and also contributes to the country's development. Take great examples. Warren Buffett made his first investment at the age of 11 and still believes he started late. Richard Branson started his journey at 16, and Elon Musk sold his first piece of software at 12. If you're young, take advantage of this time to prepare yourself and start your journey with focus and determination. Youth is the ideal time to plant the seeds of a promising future. The third point is, fail early, but never give up. It's natural that when you start young, you'll face failures. Lack of experience and skills makes mistakes inevitable, but they are part of learning. See every obstacle as a test. Nature wastes no effort. Every effort will be rewarded with knowledge and resilience. So, if at first you encounter difficulties, persevere. It's part of the process that leads to success. The fourth principle is about dedication. To achieve something extraordinary, be willing to work at least 100 hours a week, even if that means temporarily sacrificing part of your social life. It's not easy to give up socializing and leisure time, but this dedication is a price you pay to build a solid financial foundation. Those who only work 40 hours a week usually get average results. Imagine the impact if the whole world adopted this intense pace of work for 5 years. The achievements would be extraordinary. The fifth and final lesson is, continually invest in your learning. Seek knowledge at every opportunity. Read books, watch interviews, observe successful businesses. Knowledge is one of the most accessible forms of enrichment and brings lasting returns. My YouTube videos, for example, are a practical way of accessing valuable information and acquiring useful knowledge for your financial growth. Remember, learning is never in vain. Knowledge is a treasure that only tends to increase in value over time. If you've made it this far, you're showing a strong commitment to your growth and transformation. Congratulations on your determination. Leave a comment saying, "I've stayed until the end, so I know you're really committed to this journey." Now a video is appearing that can help you build wealth from scratch. Continue your learning journey right now.